Justin, what did you see on film from you and the whole O-line unit when you went back and watched the tape?
Yeah, I mean, I felt like we had we communicated things well, and you saw it in the run game. I mean, I think it was 168 yards, and I didn't feel like there was a difference when we were rotating me and J-Mac in, which is always a good thing because we got 7 guys that can play, and I'm sure there's other guys that can also play. But it's just always reassuring to know that dudes are in line with the ones and can step up whenever they're needed.
Yeah, so did you know going in that there'd be some rotation, like you expected to get a good amount of snaps?
Yeah, they told us beforehand we're going to rotate a little. Wasn't sure when, or I just knew I had to be ready. So.
Is this the earliest you played? I mean, I know you, like in a season opener.
Yeah. I played ASU 2020 when Brett went down.
Right. Yeah.
But it wasn't off injury, so it was rotation, so it was kind of cool.
I know you played guard before, but how did it feel to play guard, with McGuire's new teaching and stuff? Anything different, or?
I mean, I grew up playing guard since I was in 7th, 8th grade, so it was always a fun position for me. I love pulling and all that, so sometimes it feels more natural in some instances, and it was just nice having Brett there next to me making the calls, and Cortland and Jonah and all those guys. They all have they're all well knowledge in the sport of football, so it's cool to play with them.
And you played both guard spots, yeah. So obviously, what did you notice out of obviously 2 new starters at the tackles, Cortland and Jonah? What did you know when obviously you're working with them on both sides?
Yeah, I mean it's ultra important to communicate because first game I don't think last year they had people in the stands. This is their first time experiencing that, so you never know. That could make emotions high, and so some of us older guys went in telling like we gotta communicate pretty well to these guys so that they're locked in and ready to compete.
Yeah, how was it having the noise back? I know major job's a little bit harder, but it was a nice feeling to have.
Yeah, it was nice. I mean, instead of that fake speaker noise, it was cool to see all the fans stand up and cheer when he scored a touchdown, and you get the real live boos and all the perks in the stadium. So
obviously, McGuire simplified some of the run calls and stuff. Actually seeing it in a game, did it feel like you guys took a second to get it going? Just going against an actual defense or an opposing defense?
Yeah, sorry, you repeat that?
Did you feel like it was smooth going against like an actual defense doing those calls? You were doing in practice, but in an actual game, did it feel like it took some getting used to? Or
I mean, every game of football is about preparation, and I felt Coach McGuire did a great job in preparing us and making sure we knew what fronts we were going to get and how to block them. And then Brett and the other guys did a really good job of communicating on what they saw. Obviously, there's a few hiccups every game, and we sorted it out, and we went on, and we ended up winning, so it was awesome.
What comes to mind when you think of the Stanford matchup, specifically in the trenches?
Yeah, I mean, Stanford's always good up front, always have bigger dudes. So just you got to bring your A game because you know that this game's won in the trenches. So,
has anything jumped out about their defensive line on tape to you?
I think he was 34 before, number 4. He's a defensive tackle. He's a really good player. They have good scheme. They just play hard, so we got to bring our A game.
I know I'm walking this late. Hard to answer this question. Talk us through your first game this year, how the offensive line performed.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I felt like we did pretty well. Run game showed that, and we had we communicated really well. The fronts and the new freshmen did a really good job. They came in and they stepped up to the plate, which is awesome to see for anyone. So I thought we did a really well job as O-line.
Were you planning to come in as early as you did? I know Coach Helton said you wanted to play 7 offensive line. Were you anticipating getting in that early in the game?
I wasn't sure. They just told me to be ready. They're going to rotate. So I just stayed prepared and locked into the game and talked to our guys when they came off the sideline, asked them what they saw. And I was just locked into the game the entire time and ready when I was called upon.
With the run game, you guys, I think, total had 183 yards and net was 160.
Yeah.
Was there a number that you guys put up on the board that you wanted to hit for the game?
I mean, obviously, we just wanted to prove a point, I think, more than anything. Because you always hear people talking about how our run game was non-existent years past. And as an O-line, I think we've taken it to heart. We're trying to prove something out there. So obviously we want yards, but we didn't put a specific number. We just want to score, make sure those running backs find the holes and get in the touchdown. So.
Did as soon as they stay front line, did they present any challenges that maybe you weren't ready for?
I mean, yeah, they're an experienced group. I think they said they had a few super seniors on there. I guess that's the term they're using now. So they're definitely experienced, and it was a good battle for us, especially with, like I said, new freshmen in there. Because even though they're Mountain West, they're an awesome team. They're really well coached, and they fought hard. And I think it was a good battle for us as a first game. So.
Blocking for Keontae. What's it like blocking for that? You're familiar with blocking for Vavai, but it's a great game. But is there a difference, when those guys are interchangeable, I guess?
No, I mean, we know that give the ball to one of our running backs, they're gonna make something out of it. For instance, there's a play I kind of messed up in my angle to get to the linebacker, and Keontae made me right. So it's awesome to see that in your running backs, because they're just as important in your block as you are. They can make you right or wrong. So it's just awesome to have those guys that are experienced and that are able to run the rock and get 168 yards.
And then one last question for me. You guys are over there running scout team offense, and you got Solo out there playing scout team defense. Talk about how he helps you guys, even though he's where he's at in his rehab.
Shoot, me and Solo have been buddies here since day one, before high school, and we were roommates for the longest time. And it's just low-key brings a tear to my eye to see him out here, because it's been tough on him, and I'm so proud of what he's accomplished. And he's just a good dude, and he brings a lot to the table, whether it's D-line, linebacker. He gives us his 100%, and it makes us better. It makes us a lot better as an O-line.
How much fun do you have when you're riding those guys out there, trolling and talking to them and stuff?
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, I always feel like
I don't think Mike Jack followed your direction and came and stood next to you. So what's going to happen with that?
Oh, I think his coach told me to stand over there. I just like to be vocal out there and make sure the guys get a good laugh, because I think it's important in football. You kind of forget that it's supposed to be fun. So I want to make sure the guys are having fun.
Saw you under the trainer's tent stretching out. Was that just your brace, or?
Oh yeah, I was wearing this knee sleeve and it was just slipping off, so I had to go take it off. Making me uncomfortable. Yep.